After one hell of a generation featuring meteoric technological breakthroughs and catastrophic letdowns, the gaming industry is slowly shifting into resetting the clock all over again. New hardware, new exclusives, new reasons to invest in a given party's technology, as many of the coding lessons your favorite developers started to perfect across the last few years all get folded into a new cycle. Intriguingly, the 9th generation switchover is markedly different to anything that's come before, with Microsoft in particular focusing on load times, backwards compatibility, and access to almost 20 years worth of games for a monthly fee. Where Xbox are moving away almost entirely from exclusives, Sony are mostly business as usual. The PS5's aesthetic looks remarkably different to the last 3 squared-off systems and comes with various features and innovations that won't be retroactively applied to the PS4. Going forward, Sony and Microsoft are satisfying two very different needs: a love of progress and medium advancement versus loving what went before and the idea of improving on it. Yes, we have an Xbox version of this exact video already on the channel, so please check that out. As for now, I'm Scott from WhatCulture.com, and this is everything the PS5 does better than the Xbox Series S and X. Number 8. Actual console exclusives. There's no getting around it. The PS5 is the only system launching with platform exclusives that you need the console itself to play. While Sony went back on their initial comments about believing in generations and all the exclusivity that comes with new hardware, Spider-Man Miles Morales, Horizon Forbidden West, Bugsnax, and Sackboy are all playable on PS4, Demon's Souls, and for now, Godfall are PS5 exclusive. It's a thorny issue, as the reality is millions of us have soon-to-be last-gen hardware, and that would mean total alienation from Sony if everything was only available on PS5. That's been the way things were for decades, i.e. you need to buy the new system to play the new games, but 2020's system refresh is doing things different. Regardless, if you're forking out £500/$dollars to play the latest titles that take full advantage of the new architecture, that's the PS5. That's Demon's Souls, Godfall, and Astro's Playroom, at least for 2020. Number 7. A free game pre-installed. Easily overlooked next to the glossy graphics of showstopper Demon's Souls, Astro's Playroom comes built into every PlayStation 5. Now, whilst it looks overly simplistic, 2018's Astrobot Rescue Mission is widely regarded as one of the best platformers of all time, a total system justifier for PSVR, and the most overlooked title of the generation thanks to only being playable in virtual reality. On PS5 then, Asobo Studio are finally being given the audience they deserve, and Astro's Playroom is a delight. The perfect mesh of platforming lessons learned from Nintendo, mixed with a progression that pays tribute to over 25 years of PlayStation history. It's also built to show off just what the DualSense controller can do. I'll detail the DualSense more in a bit, as my point here comes from getting a free game pre-installed that just happens to be one of the finest first-party platformers in PlayStation history. With system-level time trial sharing that loads instantly thanks to the SSD, Astro's longevity is currently being maintained by a fierce speedrunning community. Sony tried to launch with a lovable platforming mascot last generation using Knack, only for that to totally misfire. Clearly they see the value in the likes of Nintendo capturing a lot of the cutesy character market though, and have gone in with both barrels. Number 6. Overhauled console UI and unique features. You can check out my full PlayStation 5 review on the channel for a bigger deep dive into everything the system offers overall, but let's break down a few things that elevate the PS5's UI over the competition. First up, picture-in-picture. The next step for SharePlay, the PS5 supports picture-in-picture for a friend or group's game feed, alongside letting developers include video guides for tricky portions of levels or trophy goals. You can pin these to the screen while playing, seeing what a friend is up to while chatting, or they can help you mop up 100% completion far easier. Next up, dashboard features available in-game. The mandate with the new UI is to keep you in-game as much as possible. That means the new PlayStation Home button now opens a full version of the dashboard around what you're playing. You can reply to messages, check trophy or level progress, read game-specific news updates, and much more. Segmented game loading. It'll be fascinating to see which other developers adopt this going forward, but Demon's Souls, Spider-Man, and Sackboy all let you load into specific areas, levels, or mission goals from the PlayStation Buttons menu. This can be done from the dashboard too, or inside a different game altogether. It's faster than traveling somewhere for a fast travel option if you're already playing that specific game, and lets you rethink how to experience the entirety of a given title. Built-in controller microphone. An evolution of the DualShock 4 speaker, you can now speak directly into the controller for party chat, to record messages for friends, search the PlayStation Store with your voice, or to attach audio to captures. As a way to personalize gameplay or for some budding creatives to begin a career covering games, this stuff is really cool. Number 5. The PS Plus Collection. One for the fanboys to fully argue out, or us on a podcast at some point in the future. Sony have seen Xbox's play with Game Pass and responded with the PlayStation Plus collection, comprising every noteworthy PS4 exclusive like God of War, Days Gone, Uncharted 4, Bloodborne, The Last of Us, and plenty more, alongside a handful of third-party offerings like Batman Arkham Knight and Final Fantasy 15. Even if you just get the cheapest tier of PS Plus, they're all yours on PS5. Clearly done in response to Game Pass and for Sony to test the waters with monthly subscription models that give entire archives of titles, the fact is that these are phenomenal best of year, if not the generation games, and all of them run better than ever on PlayStation 5. Number 4, dedication to platform exclusives going forward. Yet another massive swerve in how console manufacturers do business. Xbox just aren't bothered about supplanting their new system with platform exclusives until at least 2022. Literally meaning everything, including Halo Infinite, will be playable on your existing Xbox One, One S, or One X. Xbox's own Matt Booty noted that over the next 2 years, all of our games, sort of like PC, will play up and down that family of devices. Great news for those of us who can't afford the new console, but the remarks arguably render the Series X kinda pointless. Phil Spencer himself stated that he expects the Series S to win out in sales over time, and for now, either the cheaper Series S or an Xbox One X will still play your next-gen titles to a satisfying standard. Booty followed up by saying Xbox want to make sure that if someone invests in Xbox before Series X, they feel that they made a good investment and we're committed to them with content. Again, that's super admirable, but depending on what you want out of a new console, i.e. games that only work on that new system, Sony deliver that right now and will continue doing so across 2021. Number 3, Godfall as a launch/timed exclusive. Like their Spider-Man deal in Square Enix's The Avengers, Sony have been busting out the wallet to pay for a variety of timed exclusives going forward. I'll detail the ones that relate to post-launch titles in a moment, but Godfall is something they've locked down for right now. Coming from Borderlands developers Gearbox and labeled a looter-slasher, even if you're a bit tired of every other game coming with loot mechanics and gear grinding, the fact is you have another exclusive game unavailable anywhere else. One built with the PS5/next generation in mind, and one that can show off what the system you've just bought can really do. Number 2, the DualSense. It remains to be seen whether the DualSense's exclusive features stick around long term, but they do have some awesome implementations right now. Astro's Playroom makes everything from skating on ice to getting caught in a blizzard feel different through enhanced vibration. Black Ops Cold War has assault rifles make the controller clatter with a looser trigger than the heft of a minigun. Even backwards compatible titles like God of War or The Last of Us 2 have haptics applied to Kratos' axe throw or using the bow and arrow respectively. I've already covered the built-in speaker/microphone combo, but all round it's a marked attempt at innovation. On Microsoft's side, they've gone for subtle yet effective improvements, iterating in various quality of life ways rather than pushing the boat out and exceeding expectations. And number 1, more timed and platform exclusives in 2021. A separate point here from before so that we can focus entirely on 2021 rather than the overall company approach to exclusives across the next few years. Point being, Sony have locked a ton of content down for 2021. Game-wise, there are timed exclusives: Deathloop, Final Fantasy 16, Kena, Bridge of Spirits, Little Devil Inside, and Oddworld Soulstorm. Then there are the platform exclusives: God of War Ragnarok, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, Gran Turismo 7, and Horizon Forbidden West. The latter is on PS4, but we still have a trio of awesome PS5 titles. As a cherry on top, providing The Avengers actually gets a player base again, Spider-Man is only coming to the PlayStation version. Yes, the business machinations of timed exclusives are fundamentally anti-consumer, but in this case they're also pro-PlayStation. Sony want you to invest in PS5 and be satisfied every step of the way. If we're talking bang for your buck and you aren't prioritizing backwards compatibility beyond the last generation, they make one hell of a case for investment. And that is everything the PS5 arguably does better than Xbox Series S/X. No doubt you've already started letting me know what you think down in the comments below, so crack on with whatever system you bought and whatever you think about it. For now, I've been Scott from WhatCulture.com. Look forward to all sorts of console-based coverage going forward, and I'll catch you soon.